So this is my Fitness Pal on the desktop. It, to me, seems a lot easier to do this on an iPad or on your mobile phone. So I will do my best to um, go through this. So when you are adding foods, a lot of things you will be able to scan in using your phone or your um, iPad. That's why I think this is easier. I almost never use my desktop, but for this purpose, you can do add food, should open up here. And so I have tons of things that I frequently put into my breakfast and half every day. Um, Shredded mozzarella from Trader Joe's, Kirkland K-Tree egg whites. That is typically my breakfast. I don't switch it up too much, just if I need to. So then you can add the checked, and this looks completely different on your phone. So that's all in there. Let me see. So this is going to be 1 carb, 6 fat, and 21 grams of protein. Yeah, I think that's about it. Sometimes if I need a little more protein, I do this, but usually in the breakfast, for breakfast, I don't eat too much. It just, I just like to eat later in the day. I typically work out in the morning and I'm home by noon, so that allows me to have the rest of the day to do that. So then I'm going to go down to my lunch and add in some of my, I have a entry for fully focused chicken and sweet baby rays. This is just like a standard lunch for me. A half of a lavash salad. So I have Bolthouse Farms. If I wanted banana peppers, that would be good too. And most of you know, I kind of mix my salad up first, and then I put my chicken and my like salad onto my flatbread or wrap. That way I have my salad and that. And then I will add that in. Okay, so for my breakfast, I have 1 carb, 6 fat, 21 protein, 15 carbs, 10 fat, 50 grams of protein for lunch. And dinner, I have this one in here, so I actually have 2 carbs in here right now for my dinner because I was going to submit this. So I would take one of these out probably, so you can either choose to do a bun or sweet potatoes or regular potatoes and as your like big carb for your dinner. Then, so that is going to leave me a total of 70 carbs, 30 grams of fat, and 112 grams of protein. So there's still some room to play. So say I want to have, let's see what my snacks are. Could be anything in here. Cookies, extra fat, Fruit Loops, you name it, it's probably in here. So if you like to have a protein bar, this is definitely going to put your protein at least this type of bar right here. It's about 20 grams of protein, so that, and it's because I know this is a bar that I put in. These are all my entries right here. So there's some bars that are less protein full. Let's say I want to have a Greek yogurt cookie dough bar that's 6 grams of protein, about 18 carbs, and just like 3 grams of fat. So that's going to be something sweet I have later. Then also I would probably want to add in, you know, I could do like a bowl of fruit. This is being like sugary sweet. Fruit Loops, and then I don't really see. I would probably add in some kind of almond milk or something in here too. But I don't see that. So I guess you search up here, almond milk. Let's see what it comes up with. Unsweetened vanilla. I just choose any. They're pretty much the same as long as it's the same description, and I know it's 30 calories. So 6 ounces, sure. Add to food diary. I don't know if it added my other snacks that I chose. So let me look. No. So go back here. This is why I feel like it's a lot easier on your phone. But you know. So I probably would have a string cheese also, almond milk, and then a lot of times, oh, here's my almond milk, Simply and Balanced quarter cup. I do this a lot, and let's see what else. A lot of times I'll have like the vegetable in here, seedless cucumbers, just because I tend to snack on those as well. And it's probably not going to be enough so protein, so I will probably add some yogurt in, and this is just because I know. Let's add the checked to see what this looks like. So I'm gonna get to my totals and say I know I'm supposed to be at like 150, or I'm supposed to be at 130, about 60, and about this is 111 grams of protein. I typically go higher here, lower here in mine, so that's why I'm setting this up this way. So this is, we would still need, if we were going for these goals, so this is telling me I still have 46 to go. I'm over in protein, so if I'm over in protein, I'm going to take it out of my snacks because I like it in my, food. So, I'm sorry, I like it in my, so I'm looking for the highest number to get that to go lower. That's still 9 to go, so I really, most people's protein is not going to be this low. This is just really low. So let's say we're aiming for 120. So I have 26 more grams of fat though. So that's something that's really important, and there's still a lot of carbs. You can kind of flex on this a little bit. You can be a little less, like 10 grams less is still probably going to be okay, but don't do it on a regular basis because I don't want you thinking you have more than what you have more to work with. So I would like to pump that up a little bit. So you can add in, if you want to do a healthy snack, you can add in an apple. Let's see, an apple is probably in here. Usually I do like a jazz apple is my entry. So it looks like it's by the alphabetical or not. Oh, I don't see an apple. Oh, here we go. Here's a gala. 4 ounces. Add that. That's about a whole apple, so I think that should be about 20 carbs right there. Oh, that's a half an apple. Okay, so then you have an apple. We still need more fat, so here you could add, to have with your apple, you could have almond butter. And when you are on your phone, you can just type this in and it will come up. Here it does not do that. But I know almond butter, let's see here, Kirkland, that'll be fine. It's actually high. This is more like mine. So if you had the whole serving of almond butter, which is 32 grams, look at how much fat one serving. 32 grams is easy to eat, and you might need it. So if you just like that, so you still have, so that's 14 grams of fat, and it has carbs, so that's good. So you have like a half an apple with that, veggies with either dip. This could be a dip, or you could have, let's see, we're at 125 grams of protein. Most people are probably going to be closer to this. We want this to get a little bit closer and this to get a little bit closer. So we need some carbs. And if you wanted, you could have more carbs at dinner. So I would probably just say 2 servings because, let's see, 1 serving was probably 20. So we're going to double it and make that 40. So it's mostly carbs compared to the other nutrients. This is fat and this is protein. So you're going to take that, you're going to change the serving to 2. Of course, you're going to be measuring all this, and let's see, where are you now? So 122, that looks pretty good. You could do a little more fat here. So if you need a little more fat, say like in the morning, I went pretty light fat, or even here, you can add some an actual, like an additional egg, that would be more fat, but it'd also be more protein. So you would have to take down your, or you could do an avocado because that's more fat, not as much protein, a little carb. And this takes kind of getting used to, so the more you do it, the more you know. That's why it also, oh, I don't like that entry. I would use this entry because it is in grams and it is USDA. And you can, I would just add that. You can look at the nutrition info on here. All right, so that is 100 grams. 100 grams is a lot. You will want about half of that. That's about a half of an avocado. Because I know, because I've weighed it about 3,000 times. Okay, so we're at 126 and our goal is 129 for carbs. We're at 52 and our goal is 57. We're at 127 and our goal was 111. This is going to be a little more accurate. Our calories are pretty much right on. They're not going to be always exact. It's totally fine. And that should be good. I mean, the only thing, you can add a little more fat, but the chances are you probably will end up adding the fat yourself. You could just add a little more olive oil here or add butter here. Let's see, butter. So butter is about, let's see, 11 grams of fat per tablespoon, I think is what it comes down to. I always look for the grams. So I tend to just use this like Kerrygold's. Use something that's kind of common. That's great value. You want to get the gram because you want to be able to weigh it. Butter is a fat, and the more we eat fats, the more we want to know. Fat is going to be in all the foods you eat, so the reason we want to know when we're adding it in is so that we can just be more responsible when we're eating foods that already have fat incorporated into it. So let's just 1 pat, 1 square. Sometimes you can change them once they're in there. Let's see. Brummel is not the brand that I would use because that is like a yogurt. I am a huge Aldi fan, but these all look weird. So let's see here. Butter, butter, butter. Who makes butter? Parquet? Publix? Okay, so I guess it's about 100 calories. I have no idea. Oh, that's 1 tablespoon is 100 calories. So here you can see it's going to be hard. So you just have to know 1 tablespoon is 14 grams. So if you're using a scale, you have to kind of say, okay, I have 3 grams, and then you take the percent of what you're using. So, and change this to, like, say you're only doing half, so that'd be like 7 grams. Add that to your diary, and let's see what it comes up with. Where did that go? So here's showing us 6 grams of fat. So that's a half a tablespoon, which would be about, I think it's 5 grams. I think 5 grams on your food scale. So that's about right. So you probably don't need that butter, but it's in there, or you could do that. So you have a little snack here, a little snack here. This is something I would eat or have at night, like after the kids go to bed, for like my sweet, or depending on how I set it up, I would maybe do something else. Let's see. I guess I took that Yasso bar out. I thought I had a Yasso bar in there. I don't know where that went. I guess I took it out because it probably had protein in it. So you could swap out, you know, any of those things for a Yasso bar. If you didn't want to have the apple or the cucumber, you can have a Yasso bar. Just depends on your day. Like, you don't have to have it, but of course the vegetables are going to take you farther. Or you don't have to have as much sweet potato at dinner, and you can put your Yasso bar in here, and you are winning all over the place. So just to show you what it would look like. They're all a little different. I usually go for a cookies and cream, or there's some, I would say, let's see, which one do I do? Oh, I do the cookie dough. That's my favorite. I'm not seeing it though. mint chip, that's a good one. It's 100 calories. It's the same as the cookie dough. So I'd add that. So if I was like, oh, I've just been working hard all week and I feel like I'm going to need something sweet at the end of the day and I don't necessarily want this. So now that put me over by 13. So then you can just come up here and adjust this by 13. So I'd say like 1.5 servings of 100 grams. So that's going to get you pretty close. 132, 129, that's pretty close. And you could do less of this right here just to get that if you want to get it like straight on, head on. Now you're like over in fat by 3, so if you want to really, you don't need that butter anymore, so you can just take that butter on out, or divide it in half, so you're having 1/4 tablespoon of butter now instead of, which is probably all you really need. Like, it actually is a lot more than what you think in many cases, and this looks pretty good. We have more protein now. So then you have to go back and kind of figure out, okay, where can I give on protein? What are some of the things that, places that have a high amount of protein? Maybe you could just do, let's take this down a little bit to 4. And you should be a little bit closer now. So 130, 57, these are all pretty close. I believe most of you are going to be around these numbers, give or take 100 and certain across the board here. But the point is that you need to manipulate other parts of your day so that you can, oh, here it didn't change. You can manipulate other parts of your day to get a yassa bar, to have your apples and almond butter, to have your veggies and cucumber, to have your Swiss Miss, and hit all your macros. And then complete and go to bed. All right, that was how to build your day in a nutshell. Now, this will all change depending on what you put in here. So do it before you eat it so you have a good idea. And, this is a very reasonable amount of food. You can do very, very well. I mean, you're even having creamer in your coffee here, so I think that you will be happy with this.